Hey, it's T Styles. I own and operate the Cartel Publications, and I also am a coach. I teach people how to build their book businesses through story structure, strategy, and marketing. I want to make sure that people get everything they need to be able to get their books done so that they can do what they love, do it full time. And the reason why I want to talk about this is people, first of all, don't believe that you could be a six-figure author, indie author. And that's basically what we're talking about. So I want to give you some habits of six-figure indie authors, having done that plenty of times and continue to make a living off of my novels. It is possible. And these habits that I'm going to share with you are something that you need to be thinking about in the event you are interested in doing this full time. Books are just one way of being able to take care of yourself, but it is, to me, one of my favorite ways because, number one, people enjoy reading, listening, and actually co-creating. It is a co-creative process when you write a book and then have a reader feel you or respond. They're actually seeing the ideas in their mind as the story, forms and things like that. So I'm going to give you some habits that you should be implementing if you aren't and you're interested in doing this full time. So I'm going to look down at my notes. The first thing is you need to build your mailing list. I've said this many a times before, and sometimes people don't really understand what I'm talking about. Let me be clear. Although there are some amazing platforms out there, Amazon is amazing. I heard Draft to Digital. There are some super amazing platforms out there. Unless you are putting in your books how readers can contact you if they want to read part 2 or want to read more, those aren't your readers. So it's so important to make sure you build your mailing list. How do you do that? By putting how they can join your mailing list within your book, by putting it on your social media accounts, by saying it on Clubhouse, or YouTube. You want to make sure that you're building your list so that you are able to have access to your readers in the event anything happens. Not everybody puts their books on Amazon or some of these other platforms. Some people just put them on their websites. And they're able to do that and make a living from doing that because they have a really solid mailing list. And I want to caution you, when we're talking about mailing lists, we're not necessarily talking about thousands of people on your mailing list. You can have make quite a living for yourself with a couple hundred, with 50, 60 people who are seriously interested in what you have to offer. The second thing is read up on the industry trends. Six-figure authors understand that times change. A good example of that, when Amazon Kindle first came out, we own and operate the Cartel Publications. We had a bookstore and things like that, and it was a successful bookstore. But what I noticed when some readers would start coming into our store, I would say, "Did you read such and such?" They started saying they were reading it online. And at the time, this was brand new. So what I did was I said, I don't need to have this bookstore since I'm looking at the trends. I'm doing my research. I'm seeing that people are reading a lot of digital books right now and they're reading online. And since I'm a publisher, I'm always creating content. Let me put all of our catalog onto the Kindle ebook platform so that readers are able to do that. I was doing it before a lot of my peers who were afraid, and they still are afraid of the Kindle. It's not going anywhere. Digital is here to stay. So I was able to get ahead of that, and it was the smartest decision that I made because it meant that we had been there from the long run in the beginning. So six-figure authors look at the trends. They're looking at Publishers Weekly. They're doing searches. They're putting Google alerts for their email. You can set up publishing trends for Google alert on your email, and every time somebody writes a blog or an article about that, it'll come directly to your email. They understand the importance of knowing what's coming so that it can prepare their businesses, okay? And mind you, with six-figure indie authors, you can publish or you can just do your own. A lot of my clients that I work with aren't publishing other writers. Some of them are, but they all still understand that this is a major step. Number 3, they understand the importance of creating a book series. Book series are it. Why do you think these TV companies and, HBO and Netflix, they continue to do series? Because once people get to know your characters and or your process, because you can have a series for things like Black Mirror, which the characters change, but the theme is the same. people feel comfortable knowing what they are getting, and they come to love your characters and or your themes, and so they come back. And the only way to build that trust is by creating a series that wins. So six-figure indie authors know that. They know that there is some money in the single novel, but when it comes to the big money, it's definitely going to be in publishing a series. Part 1, 2, 3, 4. Think Harry Potter and things like that. They have all of those inclusions for her book series. So that's very important for those types of authors, for six-figure indie authors. The next thing is they have a quality product. One of the mistakes that a lot of indie authors make, they treat their book covers like they treat their social media accounts. You want to make sure that your book covers are as clean as possible. Just because you're indie does not mean you have to look indie. There are so many places to get your book covers done. There are some amazing designers out there who are doing book covers. And then you can go to places like Fiverr and get quality book covers done. So there's literally no reason why you shouldn't have a quality book cover. But in addition to that, when you open your book, is it typeset correctly? Is it edited? You know, six-figure indie authors are not going to put out a book where the first couple pages are riddled with errors. Granted, even with a well-edited book, there can still be errors. It happens all the time, even in the even in the traditional publishing houses. They tend to do a good job of editing, but I've seen them. I'm like, oh my God, there's an error right here. So it happens to all of us. But with indies, we tend to be judged harder. So you want to make sure that your quality product and your checklist includes editing, that you are making sure that you don't have things that don't make sense in your novel, that overall your book looks, feels clean, so that nothing destroys the reader experience. Okay. The next thing is they publish exclusively and widely. This is big. Six-figure indie authors know that there are a lot of options right now, more than ever, for publishing a book. While the top dog is still Amazon, they play around with different publishing platforms to see which one works for them. For instance, Amazon's Kindle Unlimited program, which is a program that is set up for their readers, allows the readers to be able to read any books in that program for free. Then there is a limit. Depending upon how many books you got to return one and then pick the one that you want to read now, but you are still able to do that. They allow you to do that. And from that process, it's amazing because you're able to tap right into Amazon's marketplace in their readers. You have access to that. If you're a new reader who hasn't built your platform yet, people may not know about you. But by enrolling your book into this Kindle Unlimited program, which means your book has to stay exclusively in the ebook in this program for 90 days, you're able to see the power of that. You're able to build your email list and all of that. So you play around with that, see how that works. If you want to keep it in the program because it's successful for you, because you're getting paid per page, then you let it remain in that program. If not, you can take it out and then try it with Google or some other platforms. But indie authors know that they're not going to put all of their eggs in one basket. They're going to play around with different baskets to find out the right mix, okay? So there's nothing wrong with doing that. And that includes pricing. Some people may want to do 99 cents when they first start out. Some people do free. Some people do $7.99, $9.99. You play around with that as a six-figure indie author until you find that level that works for you. The next thing is they become prolific. This is the gist of why I started the Elite Writers Academy, not just for the one book. I give people all the tools they need to be able to do this repeatedly. I'm constantly using Prolific because that's what you need to do this full time. So all of my courses, how to write a book in 7 days, how to get your Kindle Velo novel done, how to write a book series, all of that is geared around taking out the issues that cause us to have problems from putting our novels out. That's what it's about. So six-figure indie authors know that if you want to be in this business, you're going to have to be prolific. I'm going to go over it again. Building your mailing list by having it available in your book, on your social media accounts, and anytime you speak, you say it. Reading up on the trends in publishing. Publishing a book series. Having a quality product. Publishing exclusively or, widely. I'm not going to just keep it with Amazon Kindle Unlimited. I'm going to keep it for 90 days, try it. Okay, now I want to put it everywhere. Google, Draft Digital. I'm going to do everything I can to get my book everywhere. Audiobooks, which is major. And also they become prolific. They know that you're only as good as your next book. This is a constant way of life. You know, there are some people are able to make a living off one book. Yes, but you know, why are you sticking there when the goal is to create a bibliography that you can seriously get paid while you sleep? I hope this helps. If you like this content, please make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Talk to you soon. Have a great day, babies. Bye.